The $13 billion American USS Ford supercarrier is the world's largest, most expensive, and most powerful aircraft carrier. The 100,000-ton carrier packs greater air power than the entire Air Force of at least 60 nations, can run for 25 years without refueling, and is protected by an endless inventory of inbuilt defenses, along with an armada of 10 or more cruisers, destroyers, frigates, and sometimes a submarine or two. Yet China can destroy it in a single strike. This is the extent of the power of the Chinese hypersonic missiles. And understandably, it's a problem for the U.S. Navy, one that can't be ignored, especially since China isn't hiding the fact that its hypersonic weapons are designed specifically to repel American ships. One of the country's weapons testing sites, tucked away in the Tacoma Desert, has full-size mock-ups of U.S. aircraft carriers that it uses for target practice to defend its fleet against possible attacks from these Chinese hypersonic missiles. The U.S. Navy has turned to high-powered lasers armed with hundreds of millions of dollars of investment funds to ensure that American laser weapons triumph over Chinese hypersonic missiles. As tensions continue to rise between the two countries, China is positioning itself as the most consequential rival to the United States. Both its economy and military are growing at exponential rates, and so a war between both nations could send shockwaves around the world. Despite this possible widespread impact, a U.S.-China war isn't exactly far from impossible. Tensions riddle the relationship between the two world powers, particularly as a result of China's undying wish to absorb Taiwan into its territory, and the U.S.'s unrelenting desire to ensure Taiwan remains a free state. U.S. President Joe Biden even went as far as signing a defense spending bill, including up to $10 billion in assistance for Taiwan in addition to Taiwan. China also claims sovereignty over nearly all of the South China Sea, extending thousands of miles from its own shores. However, international law enforced by the U.S. recognizes territorial claims only 12 nautical miles offshore. These territorial lines remain heavily disputed, so much so that it appears the only thing preventing China from taking a more explosive aim at foreign movement in these regions is America's naval presence. President Biden has also become increasingly forthright, saying that the U.S. would intervene should China mount an unprovoked attack on American allies. But perhaps the biggest American revolt against China's claims is former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's recent visit to Taiwan. Despite China's clearly expressed displeasure, and it was clearly expressed indeed, in fact, during the visit, China fired a DF-17 missile only 75 miles from Taiwan in what was referred to as a test outside China's shores. This test was more of a message and a reminder of what China's military capabilities had grown into, as the DF-17 is internationally recognized as the poster missile of China's hypersonic missile prowess. But do you have 17 and the Shinkong are China's two main hypersonic missiles? The DF-17 was officially unveiled on October 1, 2019, along with its dedicated hypersonic glide vehicle warhead, the DF-CF. Combined, these two make quite a lethal team. The DF-17, which has been flight tested by China 7 times with a 100% success rate, has demonstrated a high degree of accuracy. A U.S. government official attested to this, stating that a test DF-17 warhead once struck within meters of its intended target. The DF's hypersonic glide vehicle can be used for both nuclear weapons delivery and precision strike conventional missions, and when in flight it can perform extreme maneuvers and evasive actions. This in-flight maneuverability, not its blurry speed, is what makes this weapon truly something to worry about. In fact, it is what separates a hypersonic missile from a missile traveling at hypersonic speeds, as maneuverability makes weapons significantly more difficult to intercept by even the most advanced air defense systems. All of the world's ICBMs travel at hypersonic speeds, some as high as Mach 23. But they are not considered hypersonic missiles because they can't maneuver. Instead, they travel in a predictable parabolic path that makes them easier to be intercepted and defended against. While Russia also possesses hypersonic missiles, China's arsenal worries the U.S. Navy the most. Their DF-17 is a 36-foot-long, 33,000-pound weapon that can fly as high as 197,000 feet at Mach 5+ speeds to take out targets 1,600 miles away. Their less renowned second hypersonic missile, the Crossing Kong-2, has a flight ceiling of 98,000 feet, a top speed exceeding Mach 6, and a maximum operational range of 6,200 miles. The Kong-2, also known as the Sky Star, to fly similarly to the DF-CF. It is attached to a booster rocket that shoots a later-release maneuverable warhead into MOC 5+ speeds. The Kong-2, however, comes with the added bonus of being a waverider. A waverider is any flight vehicle that rides its own shockwaves for greater lift, less drag, greater range, and overall improved performance. During its first flight test on August 3, 2018, the Kong-2 would demonstrate these advancements and more that had gone into it after it was launched from a target range located in northwest China. The missile autonomously flew to its flight ceiling, achieved hypersonic speeds, maneuvered, and reached its target, all in less than 10 minutes. The test was a complete success, and if that was an actual combat situation with the USS Gerald R as the target, there would be no stopping this missile. The supercarrier would be swimming with the sharks in no time. For this reason, the USS Gerald R must be upgraded to wield laser defense systems and become what we'll refer to as the laser USS Gerald R. No matter how fast missiles currently are or get in the future, the U.S. Navy is expecting its laser weapons to burn them out of the sky. And this isn't far-fetched. Lasers are a form of light and therefore travel at a speed of 186,000 miles per second, the fastest anything can move in the universe. In conclusion, the development of China's hypersonic missiles has presented a significant challenge to the U.S. Navy's dominance in the seas. Despite the immense power of the $13 billion USS Ford supercarrier, it remains vulnerable to a single strike from these missiles. The U.S. government has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in developing high-powered lasers to counter this threat. However, tensions between the U.S. and China continue to rise, with territorial disputes in the South China Sea and the U.S.'s support for Taiwan. The DF-17 and Crossing Kong-2 are China's two main hypersonic missiles, both possessing exceptional maneuverability and accuracy. The U.S. Navy's reliance on its naval presence in disputed regions may not be enough to deter China from using its hypersonic missiles in the future, and a potential war between the two nations could have far-reaching consequences.